Hi, I'm Sam Glassenberg, CEO and founder of LevelX. At LevelX, we make video games for doctors. Our mission to advance the practice of medicine through play. In other words, to use the technology and the neuroscience-based design of video games to accelerate the adoption curve in healthcare and improve the skills of medical professionals as an indirect consequence of play. Now, the team behind this has been engaging massive consumer audiences for decades. The team includes the executive producer from Mortal Kombat, the creative director from Call of Duty, the marketing director from Words with Friends, working together with hundreds of physician contributors and advisors across a range of specialties and multiple medical societies to capture the challenges of the practice of medicine as video games, working together across industries to close the gap between the state of the art in entertainment and the state of the art in healthcare training. Now, when I talk about this gap, this is a gap that exists across technology and design. So when we talk about video game technology, this is what we're referring to. This is a screenshot from Call of Duty, a game that you can buy for $50 at Best Buy. Zoom into the eye of one of the dozens of soldiers on screen. This is the level of detail at which companies like Activision are creating characters in a modern video game. Now let's contrast that to the state of the art in physician training. Let's sit down in front of a $250,000 ophthalmology trainer to train eye surgeons. This is what it looks like. For those of us that play video games, this is straight out of 1992. And this eyeball that looks like it fell out of a gumball machine is the entire focus of this product, in contrast to the video game, where the eye is made to look more realistic just to create a more engaging game. And more importantly than the physical realism is the distribution model. So that $250,000 simulator is stuck in a simulation center, in an academic medical school, inaccessible to 90% of practicing physicians in the country. Now, this is a business model we're very familiar with in the video games industry because we abandoned it 30 years ago. Nobody goes to play video games at the arcade anymore. Everyone's playing on the device in your pocket. And more importantly than the technology gap is what we call the neuroscience gap. The video games industry has developed an incredibly deep discipline called game design that we've developed over 3 decades and we've tested on over 1 billion players. We have figured out the neurochemical recipe for changing audience behavior at scale and developing skill among any audience. It just so happens that that skill is usually the skills involved in playing the game. Now, video game designers know how to strike the perfect balance between reward and frustration, between skill and challenge, to maximize dopamine releases in the brain at the right frequency to maximize learning and maximize behavior change. And at LevelX, we're developing games that capture the challenges of medical practice. Games that use these techniques but are available for free on your phone. Doctors can literally earn CME, continuing medical education credit, in a range of different specialties from playing a video game. Over 700,000 medical professionals are playing our free games on mobile today. Games like this one, GastroX, that captures many of the procedural challenges of gastroenterology, with dozens of rare, difficult, challenging cases that you can play through on your phone. These cases feature realistic tissues and fluids to capture the many difficulties and rare occurrences that can take place during GI procedures. All of this technology runs on a phone, that device that drops your calls all the time, and also runs in virtual reality. Now, in addition to the procedural challenges, we can also capture the cognitive and decision-making challenges of the practice of medicine. In these examples, these are our COVID cases that we've launched across our apps in the last few months that are capturing the unique challenges of diagnosing, treating, and managing patients with COVID, whether it's cardiac complications, securing the airway, or diagnosing COVID relative to other diseases that can present very similarly. We are working with half of the top 20 medical device and life science companies to disseminate guidelines and train proper use of their products. And in addition to our work here on Earth, we're also working with NASA, where we have a multi-year grant with the Translational Research Institute for Space Health to use this technology to train astronauts for space health emergencies on deep space missions. If you're interested in working with us to help use video game technology and design to advance the practice of medicine, please don't hesitate to reach out. Thank you.